All right, lads, how you doing? So today I'm talking about freedom, money, independence, entrepreneurship. I'm talking about business. So oftentimes I've had people ask me how I created the thing that that thing that I built on this YouTube channel. By the way, for those that don't know, this YouTube channel is my full-time gig, right? It's what I do. I make good money from it. I work with men privately as a coach in private sessions and stuff. I've been running this channel for a few years now, and oftentimes I'll have clients ask me how the hell I created this, and I'll have clients who feel inspired by what I've created and feel like they want to do the same thing. So today I wanted to just make a video from my car because there's renovation works happening in my Airbnb right now, so I couldn't record it without all drilling in the background. So I want to just kind of, in a very free-flowing kind of way, just tell you how I created it and the opportunity that I see for men who specifically didn't have the best start in life. They're highly empathic, highly sensitive, good with people, they're very deep thinkers, deep feelers, etc. Maybe guys who are carrying some wounds, which in other contexts, as you're going about life, is actually a disadvantage. But in the line of work that I'm a part of, that I do, your wounding is actually an asset. It's actually the thing that makes you good at this work, okay? So a lot of you guys are not going to be interested in this, and that's fine, but some of you will be. And those that will be, I think there is an opportunity here for you to not only make a very decent income, very decent, but also work wherever the hell you want, from wherever the hell you want, working with people who you deeply align with, and serving the world in a way that's very, very powerful and very fulfilling and meaningful for you. I also see this as an opportunity, a deep opportunity that's necessary in the world, because men are struggling, men are underserved. Traditional therapy is beneficial for a variety of reasons, but with a lot of men are underserved by traditional therapy. Okay, so this is the opportunity that I see. But before I dive into that for you, I want to just tell you a little bit about how I created this thing, just to let you know that there's many of you guys out there right now that think you need to have certain qualifications and certifications, you need to have tons of years of experience. You've got imposter syndrome, thinking that you can't create something like that I've created, etc. So hopefully me telling you, just in a nutshell, my story, hopefully that will allay any concerns you have and let you know that if I can do it, then you can. I promise you that. If I can do this shit, then you can, all right? So let me just nutshell my entire story for you and try and succinctly describe how it all happened. So in 2016, I started making videos on YouTube. Turns out, looking back now, the videos I was making, they were actually really bad. The first 100 videos I made, there's some good ones in there by mistake, but mostly I was just sort of meandering. I wasn't really scripting them. I didn't really know what I was saying. I would just press and record and saying stuff, and I just did it consistently. I was carrying a shit ton of wounds, which I still carry to this day. My father wound, a mother wound. What I now realise is probably CPTSD. If you've not heard of that, then Google it. But it's the kind of wounding that I still carry to this day. Sometimes I get triggered by it still, even to this day. Sometimes I find myself in like a spiral, even to this day. But back then it was a lot worse. But I started creating videos and creating content because I was very interested in meditation, spirituality and mindfulness and my own healing journey, pretty much, which I've been on since then. And I was making videos to basically share that and find other people similar to me. And looking back, I was really struggling to connect with people in the world. But me sharing this online was like a form of personal journaling, and I was also connecting with people similar to me. So that's why I was doing it back then. But I stuck with it. Okay, I kept making videos. They weren't very good. I just remained consistent. I had basically no subscribers for the first year or two. And then eventually I started getting a small following together and stuff like that. I went traveling and did all these things, and I just kept on producing. And after a while, I started having people reach out to me asking for help via email, etc. I agreed to jump on calls with these people, and I didn't charge them in the beginning. I kept on doing that, and eventually people were asking to donate for the time. $30 a session usually, then it was $50. And then I started making it standard that I was charging per session, right? And then over time, I became confident enough, and the more people I worked with, I realized that I worked best with men, and I realized that I worked best with a few specific problems that I've also faced in the past. So then I got the confidence to put together like a 12-week sort of package, because this actually sells a lot easier than single sessions, because a guy can see an A to B transformation a lot easier with a package than he can with just single sessions, because it doesn't really make sense. Like, do you want a few sessions? I don't know. Do you want to go on a journey that will take you from here to there? Well, yeah, it's a lot more exciting, right? So they're actually easier to sell. So I put that together, started charging like $1,200 for the 12-week program. And then over time, I just started increasing my rates to the point where charging now roughly about three grand, 3,000 or so for a 12-week program. And in December last year, so it's March now, but December last year, I actually made over $13,000 because one of my videos went semi-viral, and then I signed up 4 clients, all paid in full from one video. So that was like a turning point, right? So basically, that's in terms of the actual creator side of things, that's how I built this thing, okay? But there's just a few things I just want to kind of go through now, which would be common objections I would come across. So the thing that's allowed me to make this work, looking back now, is the vulnerability and the authenticity of my videos that I've made, okay? So that means that my own healing journey actually became the asset. And let me explain how that works. If I didn't do the healing work on myself, if I didn't do the inner work on myself, I wouldn't have content ideas to authentically create and put out there on YouTube, okay? So people out there on YouTube, if they come across, for example, if you were to do this, if they came across one of your videos and you were talking in a very vulnerable and authentic way about a very specific and deep problem that you have experience with, then that's going to stand out. Okay, that's going to get the attention of some people on YouTube, and if they know, like, and trust you, they're going to want to reach out to you and work with you potentially in the future. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say here is you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything worked out. The whole era of gurus on YouTube, people are exhausted with it now. People are tired of coming across people like Hamza and whatnot who portray this perfect image of this and that. Rawness, humanness, vulnerability is way more valuable now. And in the age of AI that we're going to soon be going through in the next 10 years, your human rawness is actually going to be the thing that sets you apart in an age of information. In a sea of AI-generated bollocks online, you being authentic, raw, real, and vulnerable about the journey that you've gone through is going to be the thing that will separate you and set you apart if you want to do this kind of work that I do, okay? So what about qualifications? Are you qualified? Do you need to get qualifications for this? I'll be honest, lads. So I did 3 years of psychotherapy training, but I don't actually use that much. I don't believe that you need qualifications, right? I don't believe that you do. You do need to take your craft very seriously and pursue mastery, though. That means in your communication with your writing online, with your videos online, it means taking the skill of guiding people and taking people through coaching and guidance and stuff, taking that seriously, reading the books, practicing, recording your sessions, looking back through them, joining like a small group of other guides and coaches and assessing each other's sessions and stuff. That in combination with the experience, right, of leading with your experience and attracting clients to you based on the problems that you've actually gone through, that is going to be way more valuable than you just getting a piece of paper that says that you're qualified to do this work. Okay, because there's shitloads of coaches out there and shitloads of therapists that their heart isn't in it, right? They haven't gone through the things that their clients are currently going through. And this is what will set you apart from the masses, and this is what will give you credibility and mean that you can actually do this work. No, you don't need shitloads of qualifications to get started. You also, like your wounds, the things that you go through, the things that make you imperfect, your flaws, are actually the thing that make you relatable to the people that could work with you. And I guess one other objection that some of my clients have said to me in the past is, I haven't really solved any problems in my life. I haven't really gone through anything. Well, if you've lived a little while, unless you're like 18 or whatever, I would question that very, very deeply. All right? If you go back over your history, you've actually overcome a lot more than you think. I guarantee it. And let's just say, as a thought experiment, let's just say that isn't actually the case. Let's say you've not really gone through much. The next 3 years of your life, if you intentionally go through solving your own problems in your own life and documenting the process with an audience, right, and documenting your own process and putting that out there online, etc., then you will establish credibility in public over time, all right? So the next 3 years of your life, you solving your own problems is actually your training for doing this work, okay? So with all this, let's just sort of briefly stop and sort of take stock of where we're at. What I'm talking about in this video is encouraging you guys that if you want to do what I do, you can, absolutely. You can make great money from it. You don't need to have shitloads of qualifications. You don't need to be perfect and to have everything figured out to get started. But you do need to get started. Now, the last thing I do want to say, though, is how important this is, right? I talked about this a little bit earlier in the video, but I want to kind of underscore this and really hit home the point. Men need this work. Men need you. Men need your guidance. Men need your gifts. Your deepest wounds that you've been avoiding jumping into are the things, is the place where you're going to find your deepest gifts that you're going to give to the world. In your deepest wounds, there are your gifts. Simple as that. And men need this. Why? Because traditional therapy has big gaps in it for men. As men, we like to be guided by people who've been through what we've been through. If a man struggles with his emotions and struggles with his sense of purpose in life, etc., and he goes to a traditional therapist, 9 times out of 10 he's going to be paired up with someone who's demographically completely different to him. I've had clients that have been in therapy with old women, and the guy's talking about a porn addiction, and an old woman is sat across from him as the therapist saying, oh yes, that must be very difficult. It's like, yeah, of course, love. Yeah, because you've been through a porn addiction, haven't you? You've been like a 25-year-old guy going through a porn addiction. It's not to say that you have to have gone through the thing identically that your client's going through, but as a man, I've had, like most of my clients have said that there's like a trust barrier that they can't get through when the person they're talking to can't relate to them. And also the therapist is going to be saying random shit 9 times out of 10 that isn't relevant to the guy because the person hasn't actually been through what they're going through. Okay, my camera overheated, so it died. But let me just tell you right now, let me just close this off by saying that, look, how do you get started? You get started by creating. That's how I got started. That's how you can get started. You got to see creating, whether that's writing, whether that's long form content, whether that's a podcast, you've got to see that is coaching already. You are already guiding people. If it's good writing, if it's good content, if it's good creations, it solves problems, it helps a person get from A to B. That's what content is. So you're already practicing coaching and guiding people by creating. You understand? Solve your own problems, solve them in public, and just get on the path of creation. Keep it very, very simple. Over time, you'll get a small audience. Start reaching out to your audience, asking them what problems they have that you can help them solve. Offer to get on free calls with them to talk them through things. Don't think about this as a money game in the immediate. Just get on the path of creating and helping people solve their problems, and it will come back to you tenfold. I promise you that, okay? So I'm going to make more videos about this in the future because I know I'm usually the nice guy, people pleaser coach, which I still do very much, by the way. But on a deeper level, this is all about becoming an independent man. This is about becoming a self-sufficient person who has the freedom to be himself, to do what he wants in life, and to have autonomy over your time, your income, your location, everything like that. Being like overcoming nice guy syndrome and people pleasing is just one aspect of that. But this is like another aspect of total personal freedom, which I'm all about and I'm all into, okay? So I hope this video helps you. If you've already created something and you're already on the path of creation, please pop it in the comments down below. I would love to see that. And if you appreciate this kind of content and you want help with this, then please do pop a comment down below and let me know as well. And I'll see you next time, all right? Stay courageous.